And we're back. It's day 19 of 30 days of fitness with Mind. By now, you guys should be getting close to ultra sexy, so hang in there. You're almost there. We're now on to your isolation exercises for the upper body. The first movement you're going to see with Justin is the chest fly, the dumbbell chest fly. Take your time on this. Start with a lightweight. These are isolation movements, so you don't want to go extra heavy. These, we want to really focus on the form and technique of all the movements. The second exercise you're going to see Justin do is a straight arm pull down. And then this time he gets into lateral raise. This time when he does a lateral raise, he's in the seated position. Totally fine for you to do that standing or in the seated position. He also gets into the hammer curl to a overhead tricep extension. So we have a super set that we've added in here today. So you've got a dumbbell hammer curl, and then he takes you over to the overhead tricep extension with the dumbbells. And then we've moved the push-up with rotation for your last movement because that's more of a functional movement. And don't forget, at the end of the video, Sal will tie that all together, explain why we've ordered him that way. And don't forget, you're still shooting for that 12 to 14,000 steps per day. Try and get that if you can without doing any cardio. If you must get on the cardio to do that, that's fine.
All right, we're back to the flat bench flies. This is an isolation movement for the chest. Similar position to the bench press. Feet flat on the floor, natural arch in the back, shoulders pinned down and back, elbows slightly bent, and you bring the dumbbells out, stretch the chest, and then bring them together.
Now remember, this is an isolation exercise, so we're not trying to go super heavy on this. You'd rather take a lighter weight that you can control with good form and pause at both the end range of motion.
Yeah, focus on the stretch and then focus on the squeeze. Get a good pump with this movement. It's a great chest pumper. Next exercise coming up, straight arm pull down. All right, so we're back here with the straight arm pull down. Get a cable that's attached higher than you are, or at least at eye level. Take a step back, bend over, good posture, keeping your arms straight with the rope. You want to pull down towards your sides.
When Justin gets into this position, he actually doesn't just bend over, he actually slides his hips back. You know, that's going to keep that nice neutral spine in this position. If you don't want your low back rounding, so make sure you keep the hips out so the hips are rotated out so it kind of sticks his butt out to get in that position.
This is a full range of motion all the way up, all the way down. At the bottom of the position, pull the shoulders back too. Don't just bring the hands down and let the shoulders roll forward. You want to pull the shoulders back. That'll also work on your posture. Copy the tempo you see in the video. Next up, laterals.
All right, we're going to do this a little bit different than we did last time. Justin was in the standing position. This time we're going to sit down. He's feeling lazy today.
That's it. So laterals, same form as when you were standing, right? Arms at your side, elbows slightly bent. Bring them up to your sides, pinkies slightly higher than the thumbs. Hold the top and come all the way back down. Now, when you're seated, you're going to find that it might feel a little more isolated. You're not moving as much.
That's part of the reason why I like to teach this movement sometimes like this, because people have a tendency to want to use their legs and momentum when they're standing up, where that kind of takes that out when you're sitting down.
Now, this exercise isolates the side head of the shoulder. It's great for full round-looking shoulders. Do this exercise, full range of motion, copy the tempo you see in the video. Coming up next, hammer curls, supersetted with overhead tricep extension.
All right, so we have a little twist today on this one. So you guys already saw the bicep and tricep superset that we did last week. This time, we're going to use a different variation. We're going to use dumbbells for both movements here, and Justin's also in the seated position.
That's right. This is a hammer curl. Now, that means the palms aren't facing up. They're kind of in a neutral position. This works the brachioradialis and the brachialis muscles a little bit more than the biceps versus traditional curls. This is a great exercise for thickening the arm and giving you functional strength. Notice the tempo, notice the full extension, full contraction. Now, after you do these, you don't want to rest. You can go right into the next exercise, which is overhead tricep extension. You want to grab one dumbbell and a heavier dumbbell because you're only using one. Full extension over your head, bend at the elbows so that you get a nice stretch in the triceps and come all the way up. So full extension, full contractions. Remember, there is no rest in between sets. As soon as you're done with your hammer curls, you go right to your overhead tricep extension, and then you can rest. The pump you get from this combo is fantastic.
Most common mistake I see with this movement is people not going through full range of motion. You want to make sure you pull the shoulders all the way back, let that dumbbell come all the way down, take that tricep through full range, and then extend all the way out.
Excellent. Next exercise coming up, push-up with rotation. All right, we're back here with the push-up with rotation. Get into a push-up position, your traditional push-up position, tight core. You want to do your push-up, but then when you come up out of the push-up, you extend one arm up to the heavens Look straight up, create a line, come back down, and repeat. You want to create a nice line of tension between the hands.
Justin has a nice rotation here. Now remember too, the wider you spread your feet out, the easier this movement's going to be. The closer your feet are together, the more challenging it's going to be. It's not a speed thing. Take your time, nice and slow and controlled. You're focusing on those end ranges too, how far you can open up each time.
Follow the tempo you see in the video. This is perfect. All right, guys, today was upper body isolation day. You should be aiming on the feel, the squeeze, the pump. Here's the good thing about isolation movements. You can really isolate and feel the muscle working. Now, they're not great for adding tons of weight like the compound movements, so you're not going to build tons of mass, but you already did that workout early in the week, so now we're adding the isolation stuff. We're just adding volume and adding frequency to your body part training without overtaxing your body. So we're sending that muscle building signal more frequently. Today's movement's all isolation. First movement you did today was your flat bench flies. Focus on the end ranges of motion with that. Focus on the stretch and focus on the squeeze. Those are the most important parts of that exercise. Then we did our straight arm pull down. Same thing. We did laterals. This time we did them seated. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, not that big of a difference, right? Seated, standing. Believe it or not, it changes quite a bit of the feel. First off, you're not standing, so you're not activating other parts of your body. So it's even more isolatory than standing laterals. This is why bodybuilders, many times, especially preseason, will prefer seated laterals over standing laterals. Take advantage of this. Slow down, isolate, squeeze the side heads of the deltoid. Feel where you're supposed to feel this exercise. Then we did hammer curls, supersetted with, I ran out of space here, overhead tricep extension. So, great combination of exercises. Now, when I'm gripping a dumbbell with this neutral position instead of the supinated position, because this is a hammer curl, I'm working other muscles in my arm. I'm working the brachioradialis muscle, which is this part of the forearm, and I'm working the brachialis, which is underneath the bicep. When you get well-developed brachialis muscles, it gives you a nice thickness to your arm. It gives you a nice tone to the side of your arm. All of these exercises, oh, also, forgot to mention, push-ups with rotation, just like you did last week. All these exercises, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. You should be adding weight, or you should be getting better ranges of motion, or you should be adding repetitions. Just don't go outside of that 12 rep range. Tomorrow, another mobility day. We have another awesome exercise to introduce to you tomorrow. Look, comment underneath this if you have questions. Share this video with your friends. Let's get everybody involved. Also, subscribe to this channel. We post new videos all the time.